Hello, Gutsy Women. Welcome to Gutsy Women today. And we have a lovely woman with us today, the lovely Stacie Jones. And she's just a wonderful person. She's been through quite a lot in her life, and she's now recovering and doing some wonderful things. And she's got a brilliant message for people, so I'm going to let her do. I'm not going to give it away. So Stacie, can you tell people in the group, please, a little bit more about who you are, where you are, and what's the story behind what you now do?
Okay. Well, thank you so much, Dee, so much for inviting me and being able to share my story with the members of your group, Gutsy Women today. So I'm hoping I'm aligned with the guts that I've got.
Definitely,
um, but
definitely.
Again, as Dee said, my name is Stacie Jones, and currently I'm in Cincinnati, Ohio. This is my home away from home. I grew up actually on the East Coast. That is where my origins start. I guess to bring everybody up to speed, you know, I have a passion for travel, and I always have ever since I was very, very young. My first trip was to Disney, and I was captivated by the ocean and like just the thrill of just being somewhere else other than our home. And I had first initially fell in love with being like a flight attendant. I thought that would be like the coolest career ever, to wake up in Paris one day and go to sleep in New York the next, or however it worked. I thought it was so fascinating. But like most people, when you say, I want to be this when I grow up, some people end up doing that. But I was like, I'm sure a lot of other people's, I followed the path that I thought I was supposed to take, school, work, responsibilities, do the things my parents thought I should do the things my friends thought I should do, and so forth. So that kind of went to the wayside. But in 2022, my life came to a complete halt. I had suffered an ischemic stroke that kind of forced it, well, didn't kind of, but it did. It forced me to confront the hard truth of what was I doing with my life. I mean, I was told by the neurologist, had my husband found me 5 minutes later, I might not be able to walk, talk, see, or what have you. That's a huge, hard pill to swallow. And for me, I'm not sure about anybody else, but for me, it certainly caused me to take a moment out and kind of reflect on, what am I doing with my life? The whole why am I here, the purpose. I mean, I feel like I was given a God do over for some reason. And out of that, obviously, because I'd suffered a stroke, the ability to multitask in my brain, that part of my brain had died. And I was doing a job which called for a lot of multitasking, a lot of moving parts. And I could no longer do that job. I looked at the keyboard that week, it just looked like letters were floating around like alphabet soup. I could not think of simple objects, the name of them. Like when my neurologist held up a pen, he would ask me what it was. I had no idea. I knew you wrote with it. I knew that's all I knew. And I knew ink came out of it, but I couldn't even recall the word pen. So that was very, very difficult for me. So, of course, I'm a recovering perfectionist and a mom. So I'm trying to scramble, figuring out, how am I going to provide for my family? My life is over. And that's where my thoughts instantly went to. And so over the course of the next couple of months of me recovering, I actually invested in my own travel agency because it was the only thing that I would be able to still put food on the table. I could go to therapy 4 times a week. I could work any hours and work from anywhere in the world. So from a practical standpoint, that's how I started my entrepreneurship venture, out of necessity. But not until last year did I realize, and I feel like I came into my God do over, the purpose of me having this business. I was enjoying a cruise around the Caribbean for 14 days, and I was one of the travel perks I get being a travel agent. And someone on the ship asked me, or she asked me what happened to me because I look fairly young and I walk with a walker and so forth. And I said I had a stroke. Actually, I've had three since 2022. And the woman said, "I'm so sorry that happened to you." And I don't know if it's the sunlight, being leaving Caraco or the Long Island iced tea I had in me, but for some reason, I looked at her and I smiled, and I even surprised myself because I couldn't understand why I was smiling. And I just said, "I'm not," with a huge smile on my face. And I believe that is when I realized that not only, or I appreciated the fact that I was given a God do over and that I had to use my business as a way to pay that forward. So that's what I do currently, just trying to encourage people to travel today rather than tomorrow. With the information I know as a travel agent, it's more attainable than people think, that they don't have to wait till they're in, seniors, or they've had great grandkids to travel. They can travel now at 21, 22, or whatever. And I don't think the world is kind of set up that way. I think sometimes people look at travel as a luxury and not something that the everyday Joe can afford, and that's totally not the case. So that's what I'm doing with my God do over.
That's just such a powerful story, because the way you said, I'm not sorry I had a stroke, because from your perspective, it's changed your life in so many ways, and not just ways that maybe others might see could be holding you back, things like multitasking and things like that, but which probably is a good thing as well if we don't necessarily multitask, because if we did, we'd probably be doing more. But it's kind of like, people think, oh, multitasking, you get lots more done, but actually it can be quite a stressful thing to actually have to keep doing this multitasking. And so for you, I would imagine that the stroke has taken you in a completely different direction and given you a new perspective on life and on your health as well.
Yes. Yeah. I believe, and I think you touched on it perfectly, Dee. I think my personal opinion, not that I even know what the man upstairs is doing, but I relied on that ability to multitask so heavily and doing so much that I feel like he's like, "You know what? I'm getting ready to take all this from you so you can actually see what matters." That's what I took away from it. And that is enjoying the moment, because I'm sure you've heard the saying, you can't walk and chew gum at the same time. Well, like, dude, I try every day. And my kids are like, "Mom, you can't, you'll bite your tongue." And I do, but I'm so desperate to walk and chew gum at the same time. But it does force me to enjoy the moment and to focus on the moment. And it's so freeing, even though I thought I was under delusion, that I'm getting so much done being able to multitask. I mean, I might have been doing stuff, but I don't think I was enjoying it. Like, really, like they say, savoring a good meal and
Mm,
enjoying every bite, or drinking a glass of wine. I think that that's what I'm able to do now. So it certainly has given me a different point of view. And I just
mm,
really want to share that with others, to not wait, because I went to bed working, sitting on the couch. I remember working on my laptop. I opened my eyes and someone was saying, "You've had a stroke." And I looked over, I saw my kids outside of the door, and I said, "Please don't tell them." They said they already know. And I said, "Well, tell them mommy's going to be okay." I think I said that, but they said I really wasn't saying anything, but that's what I was saying in my head.
yes.
So, yeah, you just never know. So I want people to go now, travel now, go wherever you want to go. Let me help you.
Yeah, and it's just hitting because I'm very much one of those people too who is I do that, and then when I've got a break from this bit, then I'm going to go and do that bit. So I've got to like remember to get meat out of the freezer, or
Mm,
remember to put something in the oven, and remember that my partner's got an early start on the lorry tomorrow, and I've got to get his sandwiches and things made, and then I come back on here and then I do that, and it's kind of a constant cycle of doing.
mhm.
And what I'm hearing you say, Stacie, is we are human beings, and we need to get back in touch with the being side of
Yes,
ourselves.
yes, yes, very much so. I know for me, I it's crazy because, like I said, I shared with you, I fell in love with the ocean and traveling when I was 5 years old. I would have never thought at 49 I was going to have a stroke, have to invest in a travel business just because I love travel. So it seemed great, and it just fit my needs. How aligned that particular venture is for me. I mean, it really is aligned with who I am at my core. And
Mm.
it like came full circle. I mean, like, I'm like, "Phew, did that just happen?" I look now and I'm like, oh my gosh, this is what I've always wanted to be. And I can't believe it took all of this to get back to it. And I just, really, with what I have access to, I just want people to, like, you just don't know. I didn't know I was going to wake up that day. I mean, literally was working Thursday night and I woke up in the hospital on a Friday morning. And so if the opportunity presents itself or you think it may not be possible, I just always feel like that's a conversation that I should have with someone about travel, because I don't know why the world feels, and yes, you can do it yourself, but you end up spending so much more money, on those online travel agencies, and it's set up that way for you not to know the secret. So that's why I'm here with my bullhorn, like, no, no, go because I just try to let individuals, I mean, on the average, I save my clients almost $500, $600, most of the time more, on travel. If they allowed me to do it, then do it themselves. Plus, I save them time and money. All I need to do is drop in the dates and go. But it's something that, um, I think, kind of resets you when you travel.
Mm.
Whether it's just looking at the ocean and just taking that peace in the nature, and even just a walk. I do staycations all the time around wherever I'm at, and just going to a different part of the city and seeing that is travel. And a lot of people don't consider that, but it is, and you just be surprised
Yeah.
how refreshed you feel when you come back.
Mm. Yes. So how what has having a stroke left you with? Has it left you with some lifelong changes? Because I'm wondering how you managed to navigate those, as well as setting up a business, because there's quite a bit going on there, isn't there?
Yeah, yeah. Well, like I said, I'm a recovering perfectionist. So I don't like people to see me sweat, and I don't like to see me sweat. It's just who I am. And it it's very difficult, and you're gonna make me cry, because there are struggles that I have just on the day-to-day activities. Like the other day, I was having a hard time opening. You know how shredded cheese comes in a bag and you tear open that top and then it's the Ziploc inside? That took me 25 minutes to do the other day because of the mobility, the immobility that I have in my left hand. I don't have much grip. And sometimes I'm holding things and I think I'm holding them and I'm really not. Um, so there are struggles I have every day that make it difficult. But at the same time, I feel like I am so blessed. I know I'm blessed. Not that I feel, I know I am. There were a lot of people I left on that hospital floor when my children wheeled me out. I could walk, I could talk, and I could write, kind of. There were people that I left in that hospital that couldn't see. I couldn't understand what they were saying. I don't know if they had any mobility. I never saw them get out of bed. And then my children told me the worst thing, they didn't have any visitors. So for me, I'm good. I'll take 20 minutes opening that shredded cheese any day, any day. I get pissed off because I'm a perfectionist, you know, like anybody. And, it is what it is. But starting my business, my clients have been very, very, very happy to support me and my mission and giving me the freedom to contribute, even though I'm in a different state than I was. I may not be able to plan 7 itineraries in one week. I try to only do one at a time, meaning like if it's a group, I'll only do one, whatever it is at a time. But because I am such a perfectionist, my clients are like, "You've sent this to me 7 times, Stacie. It can't be more perfect." Because I'm concerned that maybe I'm seeing their name spelled correctly and it's not. And I don't want to do that. I'm sending people to Vietnam and, to Switzerland and Thailand. So they're just like, it's okay, it's okay. So that kind of balances out, I think, anything that I might have to overcome running the business day to day. But it's something I love. I can't multitask and do all those things I did at once, but I'm doing that with my clients. They get a chance to just tell me the dates they want to go from Monday to Friday, and I take every care of everything for them, all the way to the airport and their flights and to the hotel or resort. So I am still juggling lots of things, but in a different kind of way. And like maybe one seamless track versus 5,000 things at once. They're, a lot, but on one course. So it still is fulfilling for me. And then the best thing is when my clients get back, I've got 2 of them coming back from cruises. One was on Royal and the other one was on Carnival. So I get a chance to get pictures today. I was told, "Man, we got to upload them." So I can't wait. Because they do everything from the time that they leave, the whole time. And I get a chance to share that. And I'm like, oh my gosh. And their smiles, that's like the best thing, just it makes you feel good. Like you give your a child a gift. It really gift of travel. So
yeah, it's Stacey, you're an absolute inspiration when I think about your vulnerability there, and about you're still going through things and yet you're forward focused and you're helping other people to actually understand the importance of time,
yes,
to do the things in your life to do. Because as you say, you left people in a hospital that didn't recover from their strokes as well as you have. And we never know who's going to recover, whether we will or
yes,
won't will, or whether we will have one or won't have one. It's just the future is just such an unknown, and we talk about it in a quite a blasé term sometimes. It's as if like we know like life is short and we know time is short and we know this and we know that and we know we don't, the future's not planned. But until we actually go through something as extreme as what you've been through, it's only at those times that it really sinks in deeply enough for us to actually pivot and make that difference.
Yes.
And so I just want to thank you for coming on and being so vulnerable in your sharing. And you touched my heart, I know that much. And you'll have me crying in a minute.
Oh.
But yeah, I'm getting a bit teary. But I just want to thank you for sharing that powerful story to really get that message across of how important the only thing we've got is time to spend it wisely. And not whether you've got chronic illness or you're recovering, it's really, really important to look at our timing and to make the most of the most precious gift we've got, which is time, because it doesn't come back. So thank you so much, Stacie.
You're welcome. You're welcome. My pleasure. And I tell you, my bucket list of travel is never ending because I'm always meeting people. Now I want to come visit you.
Yeah.
So yeah, as a travel agent, our list never ends. There's always somewhere we got to go, somebody to visit that we've met along the way.
Yeah, well, you're quite welcome to come, and we'll have a photograph. I had a photograph with
Yes.
Mark.
Yes.
We'll have another one. It'd be brilliant. Yeah, very much so. Stacie, you are an amazingly gutsy woman. I want to say that.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you all so much.
Thank you so much. Thank you. And anybody listening, if it's resonated with you what Stacie said today, please get in touch with her. Please comment and let her know that the message that she's delivered today has landed with you. So thank you very much indeed for watching.
Thank you.